Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong, and I just wanted to quickly share a journal that I made. I finished it up last week, and it is the size of a traveler's notebook. This beautiful ribbon on the outside, it's almost like yarn. It's really, really pretty. This, again, came from Fatima. Her shop is called Magnolia Seed. I ordered a bead from her, and the packaging was absolutely beautiful, and this was in the package. So I used that to tie this journal. Where this journal comes from is a recycled calendar, and I'm trying to get to the name here. I left it on the front. Stephen Mackey, and he is an amazing artist. The calendar was all about fairies. It was called Garden Fairies, and if you're not familiar with Stephen Mackey, and it's Stephenmackey. He does all sorts of amazing, some of it is just seems surreal. It's, you might see a mixture of an animal's head and a human body, but it's got a very, very, I want to say maybe a Victorian vibe in a way. The dresses on the characters in the paintings, and they just feel really old, but then they're also futuristic in the way that, you know, different elements are brought in and displayed. Anyway, his art is just really beautiful. You can see I have a bead tied on this piece of embroidery thread that I used to put the journal together. I used some trim from an Indian garment that I had, a beautiful Indian dress, and of course right away on the back you can see this really pretty fairy illustration. So I just didn't want to throw this calendar out. It was too pretty, and I put, of course you can see the trim on the outside, this little copper heart charm. Another element throughout this journal is wallpaper. So right here in the front we have an illustration that I printed. This is an old painting by Reginald Frampton. That's really pretty. I just stitched it onto some wallpaper. And as we go through, there are just pockets with little vintage images. Put some lace on the edge of the pages. You can see these beautiful fairies, the calendar pages. I just wanted to preserve each one, and I backed each one with wallpaper so that we were not looking at the, you know, the little squares on the calendar. There again is another little bead charm from Fatima. I love these. Thank you again so much. There's some of my hand-dyed paper. I put the stamp. This is one of my favorite stamps that I have. And there's another little journal card with the violet fairies there, and some pretty fabric that ties in. Another fairy, and then a different one on this page. It's kind of neat the way those two pages married up. And anyway, there's another fairy. That's from some old images that I have. I'm not sure if those are in the shop or not, but I tried to use just some botanical wallpaper pages to tie in with the fairies and flower fairies. That's pretty. Some of these pages you'll notice they have images decoupaged from some beautiful napkins that I had. Some of these napkins came from Jessica's kit. Jessica from I'm a Cool Mom. Not the boho kit, but the one prior is one that I purchased. This, of course, is another beautiful image. That is called The Keepsake by Kate Bunce. That was done around 1898. And again, all of the pages in here are tea stained or dyed. I put another stamp there. There's another image from the calendar and more lace. This is pretty. This is one of those stained glass coloring pages from Dover. I recently sold a few of those coloring books. There's another charm. Another beautiful image. More tea-stained paper, wallpaper. And those are just some little pieces of paper I had left over that I stamped. There's one of the decoupage butterflies from the napkin. I love the way that turned out. That's beautiful. And these are from some coloring pages that I tea stained, and I sold quite a few of those recently as well. They turned out really pretty. They were pretty pages, and then the dye and the stain made them even prettier. Oh, I just love that one. The little fairy with the basket, and you can see the dragonfly. And again, there's one of the coloring pages right next to it. Another stamp. And another coloring page. And of course, I had to put the one with the crow in the center. I just love that. That's my bird. And there's some more coloring pages and dyed pages. Another fairy page with a little flip spot there. Little flip out tuck spot. And that's a beautiful old painting. That is by Edward Burne-Jones, and it's called The Beguiling of Merlin. That was painted around 1874. Really pretty. That's got a really dark vibe to it, and that blue is just beautiful. Surrounded by the flowers, but it doesn't look like anything positive is happening there. More wallpaper and just the beautiful dyed paper. I love the pink. And that's a beautiful old image. And there's a pretty little image. I just glued that one onto the page. There's a dragonfly stamp. More wallpaper. Love that picture with the flowers in it. There's the other part of that coloring page that was modeled after stained glass. I love this little pocket here. That was from a sample, an upholstery sample card. It's got the buttons on it, really pretty. There's just a little journal card, and there's a heart charm. And there's some dyed paper. This paper turned out really pretty. I don't know if you can see a little bit of the botanical, the outline of the flowers on that one. That's something new that I tried, and I think it turned out really pretty. You can see a little bit of it on the opposite side. And there may be a better example of that in here somewhere. It's a beautiful image. That's called The Lover's World. Eleanor Fortescue Brickdale, around 1905. Another beautiful image. And just a little card that I stamped that says life happens, love helps. Another little charm there. Beautiful image. You can see a little bit of what I'm talking about on this page as well. You can see the outline of the plants there. Just really, really pretty. More pretty images. There's a bird. So again, this is the size of a traveler's notebook. I am not listing this one in the Etsy shop, but if you have an interest in this journal, please contact me. My email will be in the description. And thank you so much for looking. I'll see you next time.